Most businesses fail at AI implementation before they even start. And it's not because AI doesn't work, it's because they skip straight to building without a plan, or they launch something and never improve it. I've spent the last decade implementing complex systems for law firms and healthcare companies, and now I help small businesses launch AI agents and automations that actually drive results. And every successful implementation follows the same 4 phases. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to implement AI in your business the right way, whether you're doing it yourself or working with someone like me. Let's get into it. I'm Sam Weinstein. I run an AI automation consultancy where we help small business owners launch AI agents, automations, and AI-driven initiatives that transform how they operate. Here's what most people get wrong. They think AI implementation is just about the tech. Build the chatbot, turn it on, done. But that's like building a house without blueprints and wondering why it falls apart. The businesses that succeed with AI, the ones that see real ROI, that scale their operations, that free up their teams to do high value work, they all follow a proven process. Today, I'm breaking down the exact 4-phase framework I use with every client: plan, build, monitor, improve. It's not theory. These are the same process I use in legal tech, helping law firms transition to cloud-based CRMs, in healthcare, helping ABA therapy organizations transform their operations, and now with SMBs implementing AI agents. To show you how this works in practice, I'm going to walk through a real-world scenario that I see all the time: a SaaS company drowning in support tickets. This is one of the most common AI implementation opportunities and perfectly demonstrates all 4 phases. Stick with me, because by the time we're done, you'll have a roadmap you can actually follow. Phase 1, plan. And this is where 80% of failed AI projects die because they never properly plan in the first place. Here's what planning actually means. It means identify the right problem to solve. Not every problem needs AI. Let me give you an example. Imagine a SaaS company comes to me and says they want an AI agent to handle customer support. Before I agree, I need to dig deeper. Sometimes the real problem isn't that they need AI, it's that their documentation is scattered across 3 different platforms and impossible to find. In that case, consolidating documentation, adding a search function might cut support tickets by 35% without touching AI. AI is powerful, but it's not magic. You need to identify a problem where AI actually makes sense. Usually that's repetitive tasks that eat up time, processes that require 24/7 availability, work that needs to scale without hiring more people, data analysis that's too complex or time consuming for humans. Second, define what success looks like. I ask every potential client, what does success look like for 90 days from now? If you can't answer that question, you're not ready. Success could be reducing response time from 4 hours to 4 minutes, handling 100 customer inquiries per day without human intervention. It could mean qualifying 50 leads per week automatically. It could mean saving 10 hours per week of manual data entry. Get specific. Vague goals create vague results. Third, choose the right tool or the right agent. Thousands of tools out there. Question is not what's the right agent, it's what's the right agent for this use case. For customer service, maybe it's a conversational agent trained on your knowledge base. For lead qualification, maybe it's an AI voice agent that conducts initial discovery calls. For content creation, maybe it's a custom GPT trained on your brand voice. Fourth, establish a realistic timeline. AI implementation isn't constant. A simple chatbot could take 2 to 3 weeks. A complex multi-agent system could take 2 to 3 months. I always build in time for data gathering and prep, building and configuration, testing, training the team, iteration based on real-world use. And here's how I would plan for that SaaS company. Let's say they have a 2-person support team handling, 200 plus tickets per week. Response times are stretched to 24 to 48 hours. Customers are frustrated, the team is burnt out, and they can't afford to hire more people. Here's how we plan it together. The problem: support teams spend 60 plus hours per week on repetitive questions that are already answered in documentation. Success metric: reduce ticket volume by 50% and decrease average response time to under 2 hours. Solution: AI customer support agent that handles common questions, searches documentation, and escalates complex issues to humans. Timeline: 3 weeks to build, test, and launch. That planning phase would take about 1 week, but it would save us a month of building the wrong thing. We'd also identify what the AI agent would not do. It would not handle billing disputes. Too sensitive. It would not make account changes without verification. That's a security risk. It would not deal with angry customers who explicitly ask for human. That's a customer experience priority. Bottom line, for phase 1, if you can't clearly articulate the problem, the success metric, the solution, and the timeline, you're not ready to build. Period. Phase 2, build. Phase 2 is build. This is where the plan becomes reality. Here's the thing. Building AI agents and automations isn't just about technical skills. It's about understanding the business process you're automating. I've seen developers build technically perfect AI agents that fail in the real world because they didn't understand the actual workflow. Here's what the build phase looks like. First, prepare your data and gather. AI agents are only as good as the information they're trained on. For that SaaS company support agent, we would need, their complete knowledge base and documentation, the 100 most common support tickets from the past 6 months, their brand voice and tone guidelines, edge cases and exceptions, integration details for their product. And here's what most people miss. You can't just dump documentation into the AI. You need to spend time analyzing actual support tickets to see how customers phrase questions. Customers don't say, how do I configure SSO authentication? They say, I can't get the login thing to work without our company accounts. You need to restructure the training data to match how real customers actually communicate. That's what makes an agent 10x more effective. Second, build according to specifications. This is where you actually configure the AI agent, set up the automations, integrate with your existing systems. For that SaaS company, you'd build the AI support agent using conversational AI tools, train it on their knowledge base and common ticket patterns, integrate with their help desk system, let's say they use Zendesk, I see that a lot, and set up automatic ticket creation for issues the AI couldn't solve. They'd create escalation rules so complex issues go straight to humans. Build a handoff protocol so customers never feel stuck with a bot. And document everything. This is critical and most people skip it. Document how the system works, what triggers what, where data is stored, how to make updates, troubleshooting steps. Why? Because in 3 months from now, they're going to need to make changes and won't remember how it was built. I'd create a comprehensive operations manual that their support team could reference. When they want to update the agent with a new feature documentation, they'd know exactly how to do it. Fourth, build in feedback loops. Even during the build phase, you need to be thinking about monitoring and improvement. That means log every interaction, tracking key metrics, building admin dashboards, creating easy ways to review and refine. You'd build a dashboard where the support team could see how many conversations the AI is handling, what questions it's handling correctly, where it's getting stuck, customer satisfaction ratings. And here's what most people get wrong in the build phase. They build in isolation. They spend weeks building something and then show it to the team, and everyone says, that's not how we do it. Instead, build iteratively, show progress every few days, get feedback, adjust. For that SaaS company, I'd show them the agent after day 3, day 7, and day 10. Each time, they'd likely catch something that I missed. On day 7, they might say, wait, the agent needs to check if the customer is on the free plan or the paid plan. The answers are different. You'd never know that without their input. You'd add plan detection, and it would make the agent way more accurate. Bottom line for phase 2, build based on real business processes, not assumptions. Document everything. Get feedback early and get feedback often. Phase 3, monitor. Phase 3 is monitor, and this is actually where you find out if your AI implementation actually works in the real world. Here's the truth. No AI agent is perfect on day 1. I don't care how much you planned or how well you built it. Real users will break it in ways you never imagined. Monitoring isn't passive. It's not just turn it on and hope for the best. It's active, intentional observation. Here's what monitoring looks like. First, launch in a controlled way. Don't flip the switch and walk away. Launch to a small group first. Maybe 10% of your traffic, maybe one team member, maybe one specific use case. For that SaaS company, you wouldn't launch the AI support agent to all customers immediately. You'd start with free plan users only. That way, if something breaks, you're not risking relationships with paying customers. You'd run it for 1 week with just free users, maybe 30% of their support volume. Second, track performance metrics. Remember those success metrics you defined in phase 1? Now you're measuring them. For the SaaS company, you track how many tickets the agent is handling without human intervention. What's the resolution rate? What's the average response time? What % of conversations are being escalated to humans? What's the customer satisfaction score? You'd set up a dashboard they could check daily. No guessing, just data. After week 1 with free users, you might see, let's say 45% of tickets fully resolved by AI, no human needed. Average response time dropped from 24 hours to 3 minutes. 30% of conversations escalated to humans. Customer satisfaction at 4.2 out of 5. Good, but not great. You need to understand why. Third, review actual interactions. Numbers tell you what's happening. Reviewing interactions tells you why they're happening. You'd read through dozens of chat transcripts looking for, where does the agent get confused? What questions is it answering incorrectly? Where are users getting frustrated? What edge cases did we miss? Here's what you'd likely discover. The agent might struggle when customers describe problems using error messages. They'd paste an error code and the agent would say, I don't understand. You might also find the agent is too verbose. It gives 3-paragraph answers when customers just want a quick fix. And you'd probably discover customers are asking about features that are in beta, information that wasn't in training data yet. Fourth, gather team feedback. The team is using the system every day. They see things that you don't. You'd schedule weekly check-ins during the first month. What's working? What's frustrating? What's missing? What would make this better? The support team might say, the AI is great, but when it escalates to us, we have no context. We're asking customers to repeat everything. Easy fix. You'd update the escalation protocol to include the full conversation history. Fifth, measure business impact. This is the big one. It's the AI agent. Is the AI agent actually delivering the results that you planned for? After 30 days, after expanding to all users, you might see ticket volume reduced by 55%, which means you beat the goal of 50%. Average response time dropped to under 1 hour, which means you beat the goal of 2 hours. Support team freed up 25 hours per week. Customer satisfaction increased from 3.8 to 4.4 out of 5. But you'd also find issues. The agent is too formal, doesn't match their casual brand voice. It's not handling mobile app questions well, different UI than the web. It's giving outdated answers about the features they recently updated. Here's the key insight about monitoring. Most people think monitoring is about finding problems. It's not. It's about finding opportunities to improve. Every failure is data. Every confused user is showing you where to make the system better. Bottom line for phase 3, monitor actively, not passively. Track metrics, review interactions, gather feedback, and measure business impact. The goal isn't perfection, it's learning. And finally, phase 4, improve. Phase 4 is improve, and this is what separates good AI implementations from great ones. Here's the reality. Your AI agent on day 90 shouldn't be dramatically better than your AI agent on day 1. Sorry, it should be dramatically better than your AI agent day 1, excuse me. If it's not, you're leaving a massive value on the table. Improvement isn't a one-time thing. It's a continuous cycle. Here's how to improve effectively. First, analyze the data from the monitoring. Take everything you learned in phase 3 and prioritize. What's causing the most friction? What's the biggest gap between expected and actual performance? What could have been the highest impact? What would have the highest impact if it was fixed? For that SaaS company, the priorities would be train the agent to recognize and interpret error messages, make responses more concise and action-oriented, add documentation for beta features, improve mobile app support. Second, feed insights back into the system. This is where you actually make changes. Update the training data, refine the prompts, add new capabilities, fix bugs, optimize workflows. For that SaaS company, you'd add a database of common error codes in their solutions. Retrain the agents with instructions to give step-by-step answers, not explanations. Update the knowledge base with beta feature documentation. Create separate response patterns for mobile versus web questions. Third, test these improvements again before rolling them out. Don't just make changes in production. Test them first. Run simulations. Do internal testing. Launch to a small group. You test the updated agent with the support team first. They'd run through 20 common scenarios and likely catch issues you would have missed. One example, the agent might now be given very short answers, but for complex setup questions, customers need more detail. You'd add logic. Simple questions get short answers. Complex questions get detailed walkthroughs. Fourth, measure the impact of improvements. Did the changes actually work? Check the metrics. Did resolution accuracy improve? Did user satisfaction increase? Did business results get better? For the SaaS company, after the improvements, you might see resolution rate increased from 55% to 72%. Average conversation length decreased by 40%. Customer satisfaction increased to 4.6 out of 5. Escalations to humans dropped from 30% to 18%. The support team would go from handling 200 tickets per week to handling 56. Same 2 people, same hours, 72% reduction in workload. Fifth, repeat the cycle. Improvement never stops. Every month, you'd review performance, identify opportunities, make updates, test and measure. 3 months after launch, that SaaS company's AI agent could be handling X the volume it started with higher accuracy and better user satisfaction. Here's a critical point. Improvement isn't just about fixing problems, it's about expanding capabilities. Once the support agent is running smoothly, you could add proactive outreach when the system detects the user struggling with setup, onboarding assistance for new users, feature recommendations based on usage patterns, integration with their product analytics to identify common pain points. The agent would go from answering support tickets to improving the entire customer experience. And here's the business impact. That SaaS company could potentially grow from 500 customers 1,200 customers without hiring additional support staff. The AI agent would scale with them. Bottom line for phase 4, improvement is continuous. Analyze, update, test, measure, repeat. Your AI agent should get better every single month. Let's bring it all together. So let's recap the 4 phases. Phase 1, plan. Identify the right problem, define success, choose the right tool, and establish a timeline. Phase 2, build. Gather data, build according to specs, document everything, build in feedback loops. Phase 3, monitor. Launch in a controlled way. Track metrics, review interactions, gather feedback, measure business impact. Phase 4, improve, analyze data, feed insights back into the system, test improvements, measure impact, repeat. This framework works whether you're implementing a simple chatbot or complex multi-agent systems. It works whether you're doing it yourself or doing it with an expert. The businesses that succeed with AI are the ones that follow a process. They don't just try AI and see what happens. They plan, build, monitor, and improve. That SaaS example I walked through, going from drowning in support tickets to having an AI agent that handles 72% of customer inquiries, responds in minutes instead of hours, and scales support capacity by 400% without hiring anyone. That's completely achievable in 90 days following this exact framework. I see this opportunity in business every single day, and most of them don't even realize it's possible. Now, here's the thing. You can absolutely do this yourself, but if you want expert help, if you want someone who's implementing complex systems for a decade to guide you through the process, I offer free 30-day AI audit calls. We look at your business, identify where AI can have the biggest impact, and map out a plan. No pressure, no sales pitch, just a genuine conversation about how AI can help you work smarter and grow faster. The link to book is in the description below. And if you found this valuable, subscribe to the channel. I post videos every week on AI implementation, automation strategies, and real-world examples of businesses using AI to level up. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.